Hey, good morning, guys. We're about to do the Devil's Garden at Arches National Park. Should be really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. The Devil's Garden and Primitive Loop hike is over 9 miles and 1,300 feet of elevation, with views of 8 of the arches. It starts out easy with a walk through some tall rock formation before you make it to your first arch. Tunnel Arch is the first arch to see on this loop. Tunnel Arch is, well, a tunnel through the rocks. No access is available closer than this viewing area. Next up is Pine Tree Arch. Pine Tree is named after the pine tree growing at the base. This arch you can actually walk through, which is pretty cool. Proceeding down the main path now, and Landscape Arch comes into view. Landscape is one of the world's longest stone arches, stretching an impressive 306 feet. The view from the landscape viewing area gives a great perspective of the arch. If you aren't looking for a workout, this is a good place to stop. Next up is the scramble up this section of slick rock that hits grades of up to 35%, so it's a challenge. The view from the top of the scramble is great of the lower part. This is a great place to catch your breath after that scramble and take it all in. The next arch up is Partition Arch. Partition Arch is like a picture window with great views of the lower park through the nearly perfect circle of the arch. After that, the next arch up is one that a lot of people seem to skip but was one of my favorites, Navajo Arch. This arch is lower and thicker than most arches in the park. I liked it because you could walk through and enjoy a bit of privacy in a cave-like setting. Next up is the part that really got my heart racing. The Trail to Double O Arch takes you on this narrow spine with a pretty substantial drop-off on either side. While the spine is wide enough to be safe, seeing the drop-off can really mess with your perspective. I'm glad there wasn't much wind this day. The views are spectacular from up here, but if you are scared of heights, you may not be able to appreciate them. About halfway down the spine, you will have a view of Black Arch down in the rocks below. I was pretty happy to finish this part off and be able to take in the views from much more stable ground. For perspective, here is the view from the ground of someone crossing the spine. Do you see him? Right here. Now a little closer. And there we see him. The next arch up is Double O. There's another spine to walk, but is much shorter this time. From the spine, the double arch takes shape. From the ground, you can really appreciate the size. This is a spot a lot of people stop for lunch or snacks and decide if they want to turn around or head down the much more challenging Primitive Trail. Hey guys, so that was a bit of a hike. Once you hit that double arch, you have the chance to either go back the way you came through some of those steep rock formations, or you can try the Primitive Trail. I'm trying the Primitive Trail just to see what it's like, and I will show you right now. The first landmark you see after Double O is the Dark Angel. This 125-foot spire stands alone in this section of the park. It is important to know you can do Dark Angel as an out and back and not have to do the entire Primitive Trail. After Dark Angel is the Primitive Trail. The lone arch on the Primitive Trail is the Private Arch. This smaller arch is located down a short spur trail and is absolutely worth the trip. After Private Arch, the Primitive Trail gets a bit more technical and a bit more challenging. There's some narrow edges, some scrambling, some butt slides, and some water passages exist depending on the time of year. But the Primitive Trail is beautiful, full of rock formations, spires, and spines. After passing through the main section of large rocks, the trail turns sandier and flatter and loops back to connect at Landscape Arch. You can then take that back to the parking area for an easy finish of the hike. Hey guys, so there it was, the Devil's Playground hike at Arches National Park. About 9.5 miles. It took me about 5 hours to get done, about 1,500 feet of elevation gain. Great hike. You got to see 8 different arches. a ton of rock formations, but it was a little bit of a challenge, especially on the primitive trail. Well, I hope you enjoyed the hike, and I hope you enjoy all these videos. If you do, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will see you real soon on the trail. Happy hiking.